Hot Mic is brought to you by Red Wing Shoes of Fargo. Built to last. 3003 Main Avenue, Fargo. A thriller last night in Vermilion. UND pulls out another one. Highlights of that. Plus, we're going to Milan to update on North Dakota's connection to the Winter Olympics. Hot Mic starts now.
Hot Mic with Dom Izzo.
Really? Really, Dom?
No. I like what Dom's doing.
Okay. Dom Izzo.
Jeez, come on, Dom. What do you think I am, a magician?
Yeah, I'm fired up, Dom. What else could I say?
Absolutely. I was great to get on the field, and then Dom came up to me, and I'm trying to walk away from me. I just wanted to enjoy myself out there.
Hot Mic.
Great job.
There's got to be some kind of intelligent question about something.
Coach Dom Izzo, WDAY in Fargo, North Dakota.
Can you give me a layup or something?
Hot Mic. Presented by Northwestern Mutual.
That program is second to none.
On the networks of WDAY.
You know, if it's not about sports, I find it very hard to concentrate.
Here's Dom Izzo. Dom Izzo.
Good Thursday morning. Welcome to Hot Mic here on a brilliant Thursday. Lots to get to on this 12th day of February 2026. Glad you're joining us here. Again, we'll have much more on Mountain West coverage here today. You'll include hearing from some of the coaches in the Mountain West Conference over the next little bit. That's coming up later on in our show. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the big show. I am Dom Izzo, host of said program here on a Thursday morning. Lots to get to today. You heard me right. We are heading to Italy today. As a I have Italian blood in my veins, so I am immensely jealous. First off, of anyone that gets to go, I have not been. That is on the old bucket list to do sometime down the road. But seeing A, the Italian success at the Olympics is tremendous. B, if I know anybody there, and I know a few, including a guest on our show today who's joined us from different locales across the world. Nova Scotia, we were in Europe another time. We're going back there today to check in with Bismarck's own, the most popular hockey family probably in the state. I mean, the Lamoureux had that for a while. They're not playing anymore. So the Curl family has that, and they have amazing athletes. It's not just Britta. All of their kids have been amazing, whether it's been track, hockey, you name it. We're going to go check in on that coming up later on in the show. So looking forward to that conversation coming up later on. The United States women's hockey team will play tomorrow against the Italians in the knockout round. The men start their tournament later today. You'll see we've got our ticker, the various games going on. The men's hockey tournament started yesterday. It gets going really in earnest today. The Canadians play in about 40 minutes. The Americans play Latvia coming up later. So it really gets going now. For those that have maybe dabbled in what the Olympics have been, if you're a hockey fan, man, this next 10 days is just going to be just a roller coaster ride because they play 3 preliminary round games, then the medal round, and before you know it, it's over. So it all starts coming up later today. We'll also check in the Bison women's basketball team. Again, it's a different week here. We're going to get to the Summit game last night of the most important that we'll show you here in a second. But for the Bison basketball teams, this is a odd week. They have the mini bye, so the Bison men play. As we mentioned, we had Dave Richmond on the show on Tuesday. They've got UND on Saturday. The Bison women will have a full 8 days off between games. They played Saturday, won by 50 points against Omaha, and then play again coming up on Sunday against UND. So we'll check in with Jory Collins coming up later on in the show. Looking forward to that conversation and what should be an interesting environment this weekend for the Bison heading up to Grand Forks. NDSU going for a 21st consecutive win. That's coming up later on in the show. Speaking of hoops, though, we mentioned it. We have a couple of games last night on the women's side in the Summit League. One on the men's side that had our attention. North Dakota and South Dakota playing last night. The Coyotes have certainly proven to be a thorn in the side of teams, despite the fact they have about 4 guys that are healthy right now. Remember, they took the Bison to overtime a couple weeks ago. Last night, if you watch the first half, and said, well, all right, South Dakota's going to win because they're up 11, and turned it off. I don't blame you because they were up double digits. But a funny thing happened on the way to the finish line of this one. To the game last night in Vermillion between the Fighting Hawks and the Coyotes, where UND put it together in the second half. They were down by as many as 11. Grayson Ullman shot them back into this game. Hits a 3. Gives them a 6-point lead. They're up 3 here halfway through the second half. Ullman leaves it. That's a deep 3 knockdown. Fighting Hawks take a 7-point lead. Now it's back down to 2. Ullman drives and finishes. That is a super tough collect and finish to go back up by 4. He had 24 last night, a 9 of 18 shooting for the former Minnetonka standout. That's a nifty feed to Nastashvili, who had 8 points for Guga. That's what they call him. UND back up by 4. South Dakota cuts it to 2. Ullman drive, finish. That is sensational. UND goes back up by 4. It's a 2-point lead, a minute 40 to go. Nastashvili misses the tip, though. Reggie Thomas, out of nowhere, tips it in. Makes it a 4-point lead. Now it's a 1-point game. USD with a chance to take the lead. Shot into the corner from Jordan Crawford. No. A chance underneath. No. Fens tipped it. No. They had 3 opportunities at the rim. UND gets the rebound. South Dakota had to foul. They were not in the bonus yet, so UND still had to inbound the basketball. They were out of timeouts. They do that, and UND wins it 72-71. They outscore USD 46-34 in the second half to come back and win it. That's a great road win for the Fighting Hawks last night. 24 for Grayson Ullman, 10 for Reggie Thomas. Eli King had a customary stat stuffer kind of game. 9 points, 5 rebounds, 3 steals. Does a little bit of everything for UND. The big 7-footer Cam Fens at 22 and 12. He's aiming towards first team Summit League honors. Just as I'm thinking off who would be on the first team right now. And I know USD is where they're at 6-6. I don't know if they win 6 games without Cam Fens right now. But that's a monster win, especially UND lost on Saturday to Denver. So they get right back on the horse with a win last night. So the up-to-date standings. Remember, the Bison did not play. Sitting in the clubhouse at 10-1 for their next game is Saturday now against UND. St. Thomas plays tonight. They got a biggie with Omaha. That's not going to be a walk in the park for either team. I'm intrigued to see how that goes. UND now at 9-3 and sitting on the Bison coming up on Saturday. You got USD then in 4th alone, then Omaha, then Denver. And remember, Denver got the sweep of the North Dakota schools. They went to Fargo and won, went to Grand Forks and won. Denver, they got the Jackrabbits tonight. How about that game? South Dakota State has slid all the way down to 7, and it's pretty much a lock hammer that Kansas City and ORU are going to be the 8-9 game coming up on that opening day of the Summit League tournament in about 3 weeks' time in Sioux Falls, with the winner playing the 1 seed. So that's how it sits on the men's side. On the women's side, we had a couple games last night. Remember, the Bison play on Saturday. South Dakota at 9-2. Coyotes have Kansas City coming up tonight. The Jackrabbits at 8-2. They host UND tonight. St. Thomas at 5-6 sits in 4th. The news out of St. Paul that Ruth Sin announced she's retiring after 25 years as a player and coach at St. Thomas. So that is a really interesting opening in St. Paul for I think a pretty good job. Oral Roberts then also at 5-6. Then Kansas City, UND, Denver, and Omaha. Omaha, by the way, which can't believe has 2 league wins. They've won 2 of 3. They beat Denver last night. Omaha, prior to last week, they had not beaten a Division I team. Now they've got 2. They got St. Thomas coming up tonight. So as it stands now, Denver-Omaha is that 8-9 game with the winner to play NDSU. UND in the 7th spot. Then Kansas City would get SDSU and St. Thomas and Oral Roberts. As it stands now, we still have 3 weeks of games to go in the Summit League race. But that's a big-time win for the UND men. And to see the Jackrabbit men there, and I know they still have the Bison week from yesterday. Next Wednesday, NDSU goes to Brookings to play. That'll be a tough game. Bison, obviously, their next couple here for NDSU. At UND Saturday, at SDSU Wednesday, before we see them back home a week from Saturday against Kansas City. So this is a tough little stretch here for the Bison. And then the final week of the season, they've got St. Thomas on the road and then end it with UND. So the last 5, there are no easy games here for NDSU coming down the stretch run. Last thing before we set up the show, one basketball other game to show you from last night. Timberwolves are wrapping up the quote-unquote first half of the season as they had Portland coming to town. Blazers are where they're at. Wolves are trying to get a little momentum here heading into the quote-unquote, again, second half of the year. They've played 56 games. And last night, well, they did not mess around with a team that, frankly, they shouldn't mess around. Portland's not good. Wolves made sure they handled them appropriately so last night. This is a highlight to start. Jaden McDaniels, so glad they didn't trade this guy. Please don't, because he's that good. That is a hammer. One-handed slam. Put the Wolves up 5. Later, Anthony Edwards, open, 3, got it. 8-point Minnesota lead in the first. Later, how about some more? A little feed here to Julius Randle. And that's going to get repetitive. You hear me saying that. Wolves go up by 10. Move to the second half. Randle had a great, again, don't trade this guy either. The reason they won in the playoffs last year was because of Randle. Hits a step-back 3. Wolves go up by 18. Ayo Dosunmu, the pass here. Randle, when he is engaged and on point, the Wolves are really good here. Drive and finish. I mean, he went on a spree here. Jalen Clark comes up with a steal. How about a little windmill hammer dunk? Randle had 40 last night for Minnesota. You're going to get that. Wolves are going to win. And they did easily. 133-109. Get to 12 games over 500. Randle was excellent with a 40-piece last night. Jaden McDaniels hit 21 and only needed 14. I mean, that's fine because you got your other guys contributing the way they did. Dosunmu had 12 off the bench. Reed had 11. Wolves win it 133-109. So now they're off until a week from Friday. So the All-Star game is coming up on Sunday in L.A. This is now the stretch to begin now as we start paying attention to the standings because the Western Conference is just going to be like an accordion every night in terms of anybody getting kind of separation. Thunder in first. Suddenly, San Antonio is within striking distance. The Spurs are only 3.5 back of OKC. Think about that. Like, Wemby and them, they are ready now. They are ready to say, we are here. Denver back with Jokic. Then the Rockets, a half game ahead of the Wolves, who sit in 5th. Then you got the Lakers, just a half game behind the Wolves. Then the Suns, a game behind the Lakers. Then the Warriors, Clippers, and the Blazers, who somebody has to be in the 10 spot. Frankly, they're 5 games ahead of Memphis, so probably this is the 10 they're going to make the tournament in the Western Conference. I don't see anybody, especially now the trade deadline is come and gone, that is going to make a run here. These, in some form or shape or another, that's going to be the 10 teams that are making up the Western Conference playoff race as we come down the stretch run. So, Wolves are back in action again a week from Friday against Dallas. We have a packed show coming up for you here today on this Thursday. Our guest lineup is brought to you by Northwestern Mutual. I mentioned we are going to Italy to start our show. Bill Curl will join us, friend of the program from Bismarck, North Dakota. He is in Milan along with the entire Curl family following his daughter Britta, who's, of course, playing on the United States women's hockey team, already with a couple of points in the preliminary round games. The United States went 4-0. They have another off day today, and then they're back tomorrow to take on the Italians. We'll get the full layout from Bill. That should be great coming up here in about 15 minutes' time. Sam Goetzinger back with us at 10. We'll get Sam's thoughts on the week that it's been with NDSU now, a member of the Mountain West Conference. We may play, if we have some time, know your country or Olympic sport trivia with Sam. That's coming up at 10. And at 10:35, I mentioned Jory Collins back with us. Bison women going for a 21st consecutive victory. They're in Grand Forks to take on UND on Sunday. Mentioned the Fighting Hawk women play the Jackrabbits tonight. That's coming up before we wrap up our show at 10:35. That and a heck of a lot more here on a busy Thursday. We'll take our first break. We come back. You'll hear from some of the Mountain West on the edition of North Dakota State, how they feel about the Bison joining their football league. That's coming up. Hot Mic just underway. We're back after this. Welcome back, everybody. Don't forget, we've got high school hoops coming up tonight without any Bison basketball. Our schedule opened up, so we got a good one. Shanley Horace on the girls' side. Coverage begins 7 o'clock tonight here on WDAY Extra. Looking forward to that. Is a month from now, we are in Bismarck for the AA tournament. So, yeah, here we go with the last couple weeks of the season, and it's on to region tournaments, and then we're crowning state champs over the next 4 weeks. Going to be dynamite. State wrestling begins a week from today at the Dome, so it is on. It is also on for Education Central for us over the next 6 months to figure out who is in the Mountain West Conference, who plays in it, who coaches in it, who runs it, all that kind of good stuff. We found out who runs it. You met her and Gloria Navarez, the commissioner, on Tuesday's show. Around the league, though, there was a smattering of media that were able to visit with various either administrators or coaches to get their thoughts on NDSU joining the conference. You're going to hear from, and there's some pretty cool names, Timmy Chang, former Hawaii standout. He's the head football coach at Hawaii. We know Jason Eck. He's the head coach at New Mexico. Stephanie Rempe is the AD at Nevada. We accumulated some sound here. This is what they had to say about North Dakota State joining the Mountain West Conference.
We're super excited about North Dakota State coming on board in football, and we think it's really going to elevate the conference. We're going to elevate our football program, and they have amazing tradition, and we're super excited about it. We all felt like if they're coming in, let's start this year. So we're completely in favor for a variety of reasons. One, with the football schedule. It allows us, it eventually will allow us to play everybody. Obviously, that's not going to happen this year. And it elevates the football program. We really believe that. So we're excited about all that. As the dust settles, you start to evaluate what's best for the league. And I think that's probably why we came up with that, with the fact that we're comfortable with an FCS coming on board. I think there was some concern early on with all of the CFP and that structure and where the group of 6 fits in that. And so, yeah, I think that's it. Maybe wasn't really something that we wanted to risk. And then now I think the dust has settled and everybody's excited for the best teams that we could possibly get.
Think of a rich FCS tradition team that would, I think, will do well, and brings a lot of value to the Mountain West, and we look forward to competing against a great school like the North Dakota State.
I thought I was done playing in that dome because that is a tough place to play. But no, I think it's a great ad for the conference. I mean, I think obviously those things take time to work out, and it was probably just an easier transition to have UTEP and Northern Illinois move. But you look at like their computer ranking is really high. I mean, I think they ended up their computer ranking, like in the Sagarin ratings, ended up higher than like anybody in the group of 5-6 this year. So that's something that will definitely help help the strength of schedule for teams in our conference, adding them, and it's an exciting move. I think really good for football. Obviously, it only affects football. It's not in the other sports, but I think it's a great move for our conference.
Now, interesting little nugget there out of what the Nevada AD said. Stephanie Rempe said, eventually allow us to play everyone. So if they're at 10 is in the offing, and I'm saying in 2027 are 9 league games coming there. We know that's a trend in the Power 4 division, where if you're the Big Ten, SEC has signed off, the ACC's going to 9. that the Big 12, I believe, is doing that as well. You play 9 league because those leagues are huge. Now the Mountain West, if that's the case, it would be a true round robin. You play everybody, and then you'd have 3 non-conference games, which certainly would make maybe life a little bit easier for North Dakota State now as they try to fill out schedules. This year is incredibly difficult, but beyond that might make things a bit easier if they're down to 3. That's something for down the road. Now, there was one last topic, the amount of emails we got, and we've tried to answer as many as possible over the last 3 days that have come into the show. There has been one consistent question that I have received, and that's obviously on television. Email Dom, what's the status of NDSU's TV deal with Foreign Communications as it goes into the Mountain West Conference? Maybe I just missed it, but I don't think I've seen any reference to it in recent days. Jeff Kolpak's story today on the media rights deal piqued my interest there. I will tell you everything I know, and we can make sense of it as we go. Here's what I know. I don't know anything. And I'm not trying to be coy. I'm not trying to be a dink. I'm just telling you exactly what we know, because that has been the question, I think, du jour here around these parts inside our station walls. And I'm not speaking out of school here because I think everybody's in the same boat that we don't know. I don't even know if NDSU, frankly, knows. Here's what I can tell you. Obviously, there is a contract with the conference and its members on football that CBS Sports, Fox Sports, and the CW get rights to televise football games. And they have now an internet partner that will provide those games as well. So it stands to reason, I don't think I'm, again, speaking out of school here, that we're not going to have the full boat of games like we've had. The past couple of years, we've had 9. 2022, I think we had 10 games. We're not doing that. There's no way. Is there a possibility for us to have a couple? Maybe. Again, I'm not trying to get the cart way before the horse because I don't think any of us know really what the future holds on that. So all I can say is if it is over, I would say that was the best professional opportunity I've ever had. All I ever wanted to do from a kid was do play-by-play. This was never part of it. Anchoring was not. It was play-by-play was the deal. And the fact that I got to do Division I football for 5 years, fantastic. If there's an opportunity to do some more, great. If not, I think we had a blast. We put on, I think, a pretty good broadcast for the 5 years from when you saw us do our first game against Albany in September of 2021. If you put that side by side against the St. Thomas game, our last one that we did in November of 2025, that is night and day. And we had some amazing technology part of it. We had a great crew that evolved from that first time we did it to, I hope it's not our last time, but at least our last game of 2025. And I can't say enough about working with Kyle Emanuel. I've known Kyle since 2009 when he committed out of Schuyler, Nebraska, covered him his entire Bison and NFL career. And when the opportunity that we got a chance to get him as our analyst, absolutely. And again, if you put Kyle from September of 2021 to November of 2025, and I told him this off air, and I told him on the air when he was here right before Christmas, when he announced actually, he and his wife Jackie are expecting in June, which is huge news for them, that he has gotten excellent at his job. If I don't get to do that anymore, I will be sad about that. But that's the nature of this. None of us went in, I think, naive to the fact that this specter was out there. And I kept telling, and members of our crew will attest to this, certainly our on-air staff, that I was hoping we get one more year. That if the Bison were going to make that move, that maybe we get one more year doing it. And then if it's off to 2027, that at least we got another. As it stands, obviously that's not going to be the case. So I wish I had more to share. Frankly, we don't know the schedule yet. And part of this, I'm going to write about it on Inforum, because I don't think people understand either how the television selection process goes. Because in mid-May, late May is when the networks have, and again, I've talked about it before, they have their TV draft. They literally pick the games that they want. Like Fox gets the first choice of schools in the Big Ten. Like Ohio State, Michigan is always going to be like number 1 to Fox. And then, I think this year Ohio State, Texas play again or something of that magnitude. And you go down the line and pick from there. The Mountain West will have its desires of what to pick from there, and we'll see. But to answer all the questions I've gotten over that's the best I can tell you. I wish I had more information to share, and when we do, we will. But that's the latest on the television side of things. So if it is the end for us, we did a hell of a job, an absolute hell of a job, and I'll stand by that forever. And I believe our viewers were satisfied and got the very best out of us. I know some were probably clamoring for me to shut up more, which is part of the gig. It's been going on for me for 46 years. But I think in the long run, people hopefully will look back fondly at what we did over the last 5 years, whether it just be football. I can't even tell you. The Olympic sports, again, that's up in the air as well. So once we have information to share, we will share it. But that's the best I can tell you now on where we're at. So appreciate all the comments and emails on it because I know everybody wants to know where can we watch the games. As of now, I can't tell you where, but it definitely won't be as much on WDAY as it has been. That's the one thing I can share with you. Let's break. We come back. We're putting the frequent flyer miles. We're going to Italy to check in on the Olympic Games. Bill Curl will join us from Milan. We come back on Hot Mic on WDAY Extra right after this. All right, welcome back, everybody. I think we got our technical hookup ready to go from Milan. Easy to do. We mentioned Olympics are a week old. The United States women's hockey team is rolling as we speak. They get ready for their knockout game tomorrow against the Italians. Our next guest has joined us from all locales. I believe we were in Nova Scotia once. I know we've been in Europe once, and now we're going back. Bismarck's own Bill Curl joins us this morning from Italy. I say morning, it's 4:30 in the afternoon. Do I have my time zone right, my man? Is that what are you guys are in for supper? Or what's going on?
Right on, Dom. Yeah, we got supper plans starting at 7. They don't open their restaurants till 7 at night.
Is that right?
Yep. We shut down at 3. Then they open up again at 7.
Wow.
So.
It is great to see you, man. Thanks so much for doing this. I'm immensely jealous. I've seen your social media posts. You're having it looks like the time of your life. Just tell me about what this last week has been like.
Wow. It's hard to believe it's been a week. We've been having a lot of fun. Obviously, the hockey games are great, but just taking in the culture and the food and the sights, it's just been great.
So when did you get over there?
Tuesday last week. So
okay.
This is our 8th day. No, we got here Wednesday last week. Yeah. Left on Tuesday, got here Wednesday.
All right, so give me the flight plan. I know there's not a direct flight from Bismarck, I think, to Milan. So how did you get there?
Bismarck, Denver, Munich, Milan. So
nothing like a straight shot there. We mentioned earlier, and we've been fortunate to talk to you all over the world. This is different, and I know how close she came to making it and going to Beijing in 2022. Now it's reality. Just describe what this has been like.
It's just really hard to believe that she's actually here and we're taking all this in. It's been a grind for her. She's kind of had the dream like this since she was 10 years old. And her mom says that when she told her she wanted to be in the Olympics, she thought, oh, that's cute. But, here she is. So
when in your mind did she get to the point where, okay, I know you've been in USA Hockey forever, but you guys knew she was good. I think we knew she was good watching her play in North Dakota. When did you get a sense like, okay, she might be world-class good?
I don't know. I mean, when she started playing with the women's team, it's like she was always right there on the cusp of making it. And just the last few years, I think she's really honed her craft and she's gotten better and she's worked so hard. And, she's does everything so diligently. She's just a really serious person, and she works, goes the extra mile.
To have this I saw you're at the opening ceremony, man, which I can't even imagine. That's got to be just a crazy moment. Has there been one to say, okay, I got to just stop and take this in?
Well, I mean, just seeing her out there last night or 2 nights ago when she face off with, Carpenter and Hillary Knight, it's like, holy crap, she's starting an Olympic game against Canada. It's like, holy balls.
Yeah, no doubt. Describe the amount of feedback you've got back here. I'm sure the amount of support is just crazy, but what have you heard from back here in the States over the last week and a half?
So many people reaching out, even, like from my hometown, Candu. They're all really proud of her. Both Gretchen and I are from Candu. All the people from Bismarck, I almost get emotional talking about it. It's just like people from all over, it's crazy. Like one of Britta's teammates from her 8th grade year in high school said that she'd go to the Olympics when she made it, win, of course. And she was here. So she was the captain. She gave Britta rides to the rink when she had 6 a.m. practices. Wow. She kind of took Britta underneath her wing. It's so cool. People like that are just unbelievable.
That's awesome. I saw that photo that you posted as well. That had to be kind of a surreal moment, right? Take you all the way back to 8th grade, right?
Unreal, yep. I mean, talk about amazing.
All right, so now let me get off the hockey part here for a second. You have to be eating like a king. What's been the best? You got to tell me that right now.
There's a lot of pasta. I mean, as you can imagine, a lot of carbohydrates. They have first course, second course. First course is all carbs. Second course is all like proteins. And by the time you get done with your first course, you are stuffed. You can't eat anymore. So I don't know. I'm having a hard time, but no, it's been really good. It's just unbelievable how fresh it is, how everything tastes just amazing. Their coffee is unreal.
And you've been walking all over, right? You told me you had like 17,000 steps or something crazy like that.
Yeah, I'm getting in pretty good shape. I don't think I'm gaining any weight, even though I'm eating a lot. So it's just cool. I mean, just the sights and the buildings are so old, you can't even believe it. And how did they build these buildings before we had all the machinery? It's unbelievable.
Yeah, we're seeing a few of the photos you posted now. Just again, just mouth open at looking at stuff. Yeah. You were at the opening ceremony. Take that in. Give us the lowdown on what that experience was like.
It was really crowded. Italy does not do a good job. I've realized they don't do a very good job of organizing. I mean, they're very artistic and everything is amazing in that respect. But like the amount of walking we had to do to get to our seats was insane. Like we walked to one end of the stadium because I think that's where our entrance was to the stadium.
Okay.
We had it blocked off. We had to walk all the way around the stadium. This is a gigantic stadium. I think it seats like 80,000 people. Oof. So, but just to be there, it's unreal.
Yikes. Yeah. That is wild. All right. So now, obviously, the game goes on. The preliminary round couldn't have gone any better. Has this even exceeded? You've seen this team play hundreds of times. Are they as good as they ever have been of what you've seen over the last week?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they were really good in the last series against Canada. They won how many games that was. And I think they've won 7 in a row. So I just hope their luck keeps going and they keep rolling because they're a freight train right now.
So you mentioned here off day today. What have you been doing today? Have you been traveling around or low key today?
Got up before 8. First time I've been here. I saw the city before 8. Walked down. We rode down to the Duomo where the big cathedral is. Went to morning mass in a crypt where there's a body down there, a saint, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But just that Duomo, that cathedral is unbelievable. I mean, you can't even describe it. It's just crazy.
So, and then you mentioned dinner's not for a few hours yet then, huh?
Yeah, we're just kind of hanging out in the apartment that we rented. And
how much?
One of my friends from Fargo's coming over.
Awesome.
There's a couple words I'm supposed to throw in. He's going to buy me a coffee if I throw in a couple words, and I can't think of what they are. What are they? Consequently, substantial. Yeah.
Okay,
whatever.
There you go. How much? how much can you see Britta? How much have you had interaction with her since you guys got there?
Obviously, we see her after every game. We've been with her. The first night we got here, we had dinner with her. We've seen her a few times. She came over to the apartment one day, but she's pretty busy. pretty tied up, with practices. I think their ride to the rink is over an hour. So,
oh man,
one way. Yeah.
So we heard plenty, Bill, about the big rink not being done. Have you been in that one yet?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Okay.
I mean, it doesn't seem like it's unfinished, so it's really nice.
Well, I imagine that ticket was a hot one to get for the Canadian game. I heard. Are you going to the men's game tonight? Is that on the docket?
We USA Hockey texted us and said they had 25 tickets, and luckily Andrew's Johnny on the spot, and he got right back to him, and we got 4 tickets, so we're going to that.
I imagine that's a hot ticket considering the amount of with the NHLers being there. Now they're all, from what I understand, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Are the NHLers actually staying where the women's hockey team? They're all together.
They're just one floor above the girls. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's amazing.
Britta was standing outside the elevator and had a conversation with Austin Matthews the other day. So, I mean, just crazy. It's like,
yeah,
unbelievable. Yeah.
I know I've asked you this before, and this is probably impossible since you're in it right now, but is this just, when you think of all the travels that you and Gretchen have had, just what comes to mind? Like this, you've gone all over the world, and now here you are at the Olympics.
Yeah, it's been kind of a crazy journey if you think about it. And you think about, if we wouldn't have had the chance to play hockey, if I wouldn't have had a chance to play hockey as a kid, growing up in Can-Do, maybe I wouldn't have put her in hockey, and we wouldn't have been on this crazy journey together. So
that's amazing. How? What's the traveling contingent? Who's with you that you went over with?
Gretchen and I came. We met Andrew, Britta's husband, over here. He had a different flight. And then Gretchen's sister Bernie from Bismarck is here, and her family's coming. My 2 boys are coming, and their significant others. And let's see. That's about it. I guess we got some cousins that are going to be here.
Nice.
Yeah. When it's all said and done, I think there's going to be 7 or 8 of us.
Wow.
And then, plus Bernie, our brother-in-law and sister-in-law and their families.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I know I've been around you enough. Can you watch the game, enjoy it, or you do have to be separate and say, I don't talk to me, I'm focused on watching? Can you do that, or can you enjoy the game?
No, I actually enjoy the game. It's weird. I haven't even been nervous for these games yet. So you'd think I would be, but I'm not. I don't know why. I mean, it's just like we're here and, the nerves are gone. So.
Well, is it you're saving it for the gold medal game, I'm assuming? Is that the case?
I'm sure I'll be a little nervous for that game. That's pretty high stakes.
How long are you guys planning on staying?
We leave the morning after the afternoon after the championship game.
Okay.
So.
The attention on this, Bill, has been crazy as well. It's not, I mean, you've seen this firsthand where women's hockey has exploded, and your daughter's been right in the middle of that. You described the level of attention that maybe wasn't there even 10 years ago to where it's at right now.
Yeah. It's just so neat to see the women get the attention that they get now. I mean, the professional league has really helped.
Yes.
And I mean, it's a great game. It's fun to watch. So it's well-deserved.
So I have to, is there anybody that you wanted to meet? Anybody that you've seen over there that's on the bucket list that you've already done, or what's to come?
No, I mean, it'd be fun to meet some of the NHL guys. I'm not really a pop culture guy. I mean, I'm seeing famous people. I have no idea who they are. So I'm kind of an idiot.
Well, did you meet Snoop yet? I know he's over there.
No,
okay.
No, he was there, and Britta had a chance to meet him, but she took a pregame nap instead. So
hey, well,
she's probably more like me. She doesn't really care about all that stuff.
You can't mess with routine either, right? Like
Right.
She's in that. That's the deal. Do you guys have? Were you and Gretchen?
She's here for the right reason, right?
Exactly. Hey, it's a business trip, right? And then after that, then you can go and celebrate. Do you and Gretchen have like a pregame routine that you guys do, or no?
Not really. We just get to the game early. We like to watch warm-ups, and I don't know. It's fun.
Now, I saw on the Canada game that Kendall Coyne-Schofield's son got the puck. Were you close by that? Were you guys have that good of seats?
No, we were on the other corner. I actually saw her husband lift him up, and I was like, wow, somebody gave him the puck. That's cool. Well, actually, it fell at their feet, Yeah, he's a really, really sweet little kid. He's so sweet.
So last thing before I let you go, and I really appreciate you doing this, man. This is fantastic to be able to hook up here. Just describe for yourself, your family, what this has been like, and just the amount of support you've heard from North Dakota, Minnesota, all around of what this – because I'm sure people have come out of the woodwork maybe you haven't heard from in years, right?
yeah, it's so special and so incredible. And we just feel so lucky that we have so much support from everybody. So thanks to everybody back home.
It's great to see you, man. Thanks so much for doing this. Enjoy the time over there. I'm super jealous of the food. I'm going to be honest with you right now. The hockey goes without saying. I'm jealous of the fact of what you're eating over there. But
That's awesome.
thanks for doing this, bud. Have a great time. We'll see you soon, okay?
Thanks, Dom. Have a good one.
There he goes. Bill Curl joining us from Candu, North Dakota. His daughter, obviously Britta, one of the standout players for the United States women's Olympic hockey team. They are off today. They will play tomorrow in the medal round against the Italians. The rest of the bracket isn't set yet because Finland and Canada had to play the makeup game. You remember Finland's opening game got suspended or canceled or postponed, I guess is the best way to say it, after they got the stomach bug. So they're playing now, and the result of that will give us the rest of the bracket. But the U.S. plays tomorrow against the Italians. That'll be at 2 o'clock. So that's 9 o'clock Italy time in Milan. So my wife told me about the different courses as well. She went over there on a school trip years ago, which is fascinating to me. I'm drooling thinking about it already. But that was great. And appreciate guys in back making that happen because we had a little technical snafu, but we made it work. And so we got another country checked off. We've been to Ireland. I know we've been to England. Certainly we've hit hits out of Canada, and now we can get Italy off the board for Hot Mike. That's pretty darn cool. We'll break. We'll wrap up our first hour. We got a couple emails to get to. Sammy G coming up in our second hour. Jory Collins coming up as well. As we roll on here on a Thursday morning edition of Hot Mike. We're back after this. All right, wrapping up our first hour. Our thanks to Bill Curl again for joining us from Milan. Earlier today, again, maybe give the kitchen sink away here. The United States added another medal today. Minnesotan Jessie Diggins took bronze in cross-country skiing. Remember, she won the gold medal in this in 2018. So the United States has already added another medal. They had a big day yesterday. Jordan Stolz won the gold in the men's 1,000 meter in speed skating, which is speed skating is also up there, at least on my personal favorites of what to see throughout the Olympics. So they added that. They added another in snowboard. Moguls, they've been obviously very good in. So the home country still has the overall lead by 1 over Norway, then the United States. The Austrians, who are really good in skiing, obviously. Biathlon has been crazy. There's wild stories coming out of the biathlon right now. And Japan with 9. That's the official leaderboard update on the medal tracker as we sit here roughly a full week in already, which is crazy. Feels like, we wait 3.5 years for it to get here, then it's here, and then it's over before you know it. But that's where things are on the medal count. The United States now up to 13 medals, 4 gold, 6 silver, 3 bronzes. So far through the first week of the Olympics, with more to come. Chloe Kim is going tonight in snowboarding. She's won the last 2 gold medals there, so something to keep our eyes on. And try not to spoil it, but you know what? It's 2026. Information is everywhere. It's hard to ignore. Email comes in. Dom, it's been a heck of a ride these past years, and all the games you've done over the years has been fantastic. Hope the future works out well for you and the crew, and we'll have good things to come in the coming years. Another point, when you play the Wolves highlights, I noticed a female official. I think this is fantastic. I see ladies officiating in the NSIC, the Summit, and on some NCAA broadcasts. Hope the trend continues. I think this is great flavor, brings another flavor to the game. Absolutely appreciate the email. Keeps going more and more so that, I want to say, especially for the Missouri Valley Football Conference, I know we had at least 3 women's officials that were on crews over the last couple of years. Just keeps getting better. Absolutely. And they're very, very good as well. And there's one common theme you'll hear without any hesitation, whether it's in the professional ranks, collegiate ranks, high school ranks, that the need for officials is large. So more they can get into it, the better off we'll be there. Appreciate the email and for the good words. Like I said earlier, for those that missed it, television status as of now, murky at best is probably the best way to describe what's going to happen. But we will keep you abreast of it no matter what the details are. We owe that obviously to our audience of what is transpiring, and we will certainly pass that along once we know more. All right, we'll break. We come back. We'll start our second hour. Sam Goetzinger will join us, talk to Sam on his thoughts on the Mountain West move. Chat some few other things as well. That's coming up when we start hour 2 of Hot Mike on a Thursday morning, which returns after this.
Mike on the networks of WDAY. Here's Dom Izzo.
Let's take a moment and talk about bunions. The original line read as this: bunions. You may have heard of them. That was my original line.
Hey, thank you, Dom. Johnny Cool Guys there with the sunglasses on.
That was off the dome
to the west of
when
Illinois.
I'm looking on it, like west. I shouldn't say right and left. Is that Missouri?
That is Missouri.
Yes.
That is
underneath
Missouri.
Iowa. Oh, I'm getting good at this.
He's coming.
So we're going to like the bottom Peninsula region.
Peninsula.
Okay, we're going to come back on the ETSU tailgate and then go to you. How am I going to go from a tailgate to bunions?
Okay, good deal.
Let's take a moment and talk about bunions.
You know, that should be the title of a podcast. How are we going to go from this to bunions? That would be, right? Would that not be a great podcast title?
I agree. I think it would be fantastic. I could voice over something if you want, you know. I'm ready at a moment's
Well, no,
notice.
it's your podcast. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
You know.
Oh, man. My podcast, I think we have a good section of how to fix bunions. I know the right connections now.
You definitely do. Great to see you. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Haven't had anything going on the last couple days.
No,
huh?
this has been it's been a really quiet week.
Yep.
I've just been sitting there twiddling my thumbs.
I ruined your weekend and vacation that you're going to get a chance to get home. I apologize on
This was
that,
pretty important to be back in town for. So
when the bat signal went out Friday night, and I believe the text you sent me was, "Is this real?" And
Yeah,
I said, this is pretty heavy hitter here.
It hit me like I'm sure it hit a bunch of people. Notification popped up. I actually got a text from Logan Campbell. She'd sent me your tweet.
Oh yeah,
and because I was off in my own little world. I wasn't paying attention to anything.
Well, you're off the clock.
Well,
right?
Exactly, and I'm about as shut down as you would expect me to be, just staring at a wall. And then
what?
And then. And then the text came through, and it was your tweet that this was happening. So I immediately texted you. Is this where we're at right now? Is this happening? Yeah. A random Friday night? Is this how we find the news?
It is, and it's now obviously official. So give me your 30,000 foot view of this move.
Interesting. I think it's a great move for the football program, for the university. There's so many things I'm curious to find out that only time will tell. We're not going to have, nobody's going to have the answers on how this all shapes out until a couple of years down the road. Like, for instance, I'm curious, the recruiting aspect of it.
Yeah.
Just learning about the Mountain West over this last week has been pretty interesting. There's been some really, really big name players that have played in the Mountain West. I think of the quarterbacks in the last couple of years, like Alex Orji, who was behind J.J. McCarthy in Michigan. He was over at UNLV.
Yep.
Malachi Nelson, who was a former 5-star, was at Boise, and then
Ashton Genty was at Boise State.
Exactly,
Yep.
And then Nelson went to UTEP, and of course his career hasn't shaped up to how he's wanted it so far. Brock Purdy's brother was quarterback for Nevada. I mean, the list goes on. Jackson Arnold transferred into UNLV.
He's at UNLV now.
There's some big name guys.
Yep.
Is North Dakota State ever going to be in that conversation of getting someone that has some national notoriety to him? You know, if I were an athlete and cared about my football career and it wasn't working out in the P4s, I'd consider North Dakota State.
I think certainly now the door will be open for that. I don't know if it'll take them, but there will be some guys that are going to want to play in the Mountain West. Sure,
I would think so. I'm also curious in kind of the social aspect of this. We've seen what the Bison fandom thought process has been over the last couple of years. They've got to winning, and then, of course, there might have been some FCS fatigue to that. I'm curious now what it's going to be like if and when a 4-loss season happens. What's the reaction? What's the reaction going to be? Because that doesn't happen often.
That will be really interesting. Yeah, there'll be people screaming, we never should have left.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Right.
We never should have left the FCS.
Right.
Yes, and that might happen this fall.
Exactly.
It very well
exactly.
could.
I'll be super curious to see what the reaction is on that.
But, I mean, you're down there on field level for the last 2 years and have been there when that place is emptied out in the second quarter when the game has already been well in hand.
It just totally changes the field.
And it's just. And you were obviously down there on the field for the Illinois State game, the last game.
Yeah.
That playoff game, which was 9,000 people were there.
Yep.
And that, again, tells you all you need to know where fan interest was at this division.
It definitely needed a jolt, and this was the this was the best possible opportunity, and you got to take it. I selfishly, and you talked about it. It's sad how it ended. Like with our broadcast purposes, there wasn't a clear goodbye from us. That's tough. It's going to be sad not being a part of that in the capacity that we were in before. Granted, we don't know exactly what the future holds, but that part sucks a little bit.
Yes.
But this was definitely needed. How the financials going to work, I guess we'll see in due time. So
yeah, that will be intriguing. Everyone wants to know who they're playing. I know Mike wrote about it in the paper today about how's this going to work and who are they going to get. I have no idea. I trying to think of myself as a scheduled nerd. I mean, there's nobody out there. I don't know how they finagle this to somehow find 3 non-conference, because I think one of the FCS games is going to stay. I'm thinking it's East Tennessee State, but that's not 100% lock and loaded here. But I have no idea how they're going to find 3 other games.
I'm not a scheduling guru. You just hope for the best. I don't imagine they're going to get the big name non-conference games right away in year one.
I would probably think not, but it's not out of the realm of possibility to assume that a G6 team, a team from the Mountain or a team from the Sun Belt, a team like a Coastal Carolina or an App State or a Georgia Southern, a team from Conference USA, like our friends at Mo State could be back here before we know it. You know what I mean?
It's cool
like,
to re-spark some of those old
like,
games.
Hey, if you thought your trips to Springfield were over, you never got to go to Springfield.
No, I didn't.
Springfield's great. Springfield's fantastic. We could be going back there. You never know. But those kind of games are in the offing. That is going to happen as part of how the schedule formula will work. And then, as Sam points out, and accurately so, a Power 4 will be on the schedule. I don't think it's going to happen this fall because everybody's likely locked in.
Right.
But a game at Maryland, a game, give me Missouri, Oklahoma State, something
USC,
of that.
Is that something? I'm not saying for this year, but
maybe.
I know they have an opening, right?
Yeah,
is that the case?
Yeah,
Are the Gophers back in contention at some point?
I don't think until there's somebody else running the team there that would happen.
Oh, yeah.
PJ Fleck has made it abundantly clear that he does not want to play North Dakota State. I think the big 3 that you're thinking of, Minnesota, Nebraska, Wisconsin, I do not think are happening anytime soon. But like Michigan State,
the Trent Fraley Bowl.
Purdue.
Yeah,
right. The Trent Fraley Bowl. Marshall, the Thundering Herd against the Bison.
That would be cool.
Those are, I want fans to understand, those are the games that now suddenly are on your radar.
It's just crazy.
And need to be on your
radar. It's crazy that's in the same conversation, in the same sentence.
It ain't no incarnate word. It's not Central
awesome.
Arkansas. I mean,
it's awesome. And I will say, the Mountain West right now is in such an interesting spot. Of course, with those 5 programs leaving to the Pac-12, it's a different makeup of the Mountain West heading into this season. That one that many college football fans are used to, and they got to find their identity in a sense. And North Dakota State can be a part of that.
What I'm really interested in is the heavy hitters that cover the sport think that NDSU can come in and either compete or win this thing right away.
Yeah,
that's not me saying that. That's the national media types that think that this can happen.
I don't disagree with him one bit. I was kind of thinking about it. I mean, it's slightly like the Missouri Valley Football Conference, where you have kind of that disparity, and I don't want to knock on any of our new friends now, but there's the top 4 that are pretty top heavy, and then you get towards the bottom, and I think North Dakota State, if not this upcoming year, but soon can be in that conversation.
We haven't even started really our position by position breakdown of what the 26 buys were going to be. And I was preparing to do that for FCS, and now it's like, wow,
that changes.
All right, it's just like completely, because they're not adding. And I had this email come in after yesterday's show that I didn't ask Grant. Are they adding 25 guys? They're not doing that for scholarship for this year. What they have, as Tim Polisic said, what they have is the team. The team that they have now, they may add another player or two in May, but this is the team that they're taking onto the field in the fall of 2026. What they're doing now for recruiting-wise is going out there and now targeting for 2027 and beyond for those kind of players is what they're looking at
you
now.
and I were skimming at the roster yesterday. I mean, there's some pretty talented players that are still around.
There is, but there's also some question marks there as well.
On how they'll translate into the FBS level. There's no doubt about that. Yep.
I think defensive line is suddenly now a really interesting place to look at. You know, that the Bison had Keenan Wilson coming back. They had Kelton McCaslin coming back. They really like Matthew Stenbrotten that's coming back. That's suddenly and Logan Larson back.
Logan
up front.
Larson's back.
That's
Elijah Wayne.
And Elijah Wayne now is an FBS player. That's a really interesting spot up front of how that translates to FBS football.
Right, because the offensive linemen are a step up, if you will. But as Grant said on Bison Media Zone yesterday, they've gone up against some of the best of the best offensive linemen over the last couple of years. So how will that translate? They have to prove it. I thought it was interesting too when I was looking at the Mountain West. There's only one current team that's won the Mountain West championship. That's San Jose State,
who's not been very good. Right, and that was the COVID year they won it, and they haven't been good since.
Everybody else that's won it is out of the
gone.
league now.
It's done so. That's exactly right.
Everybody's got something to prove in the conference.
Now, you've just gotten familiar with the Missouri Valley map.
Just got.
Been
here
it's
2 years.
2 years. Now, are you ready for the Mountain West map? Can you handle that one?
I think I've stared at it long enough to kind of get the idea of where everybody is.
Shall we bring it up here? Now, the schools are on there. Eric gave you a break because he put with the schools in the states of where they're at.
If we're going town names, no chance. And I'll combat that with I bet they don't know where Fargo is. So, but
you know what? That's a great point. Here's a story idea already. When we go to, and I'm saying it now, we're going to Mountain West Media Day. So when we go and ask said players where North Dakota is on a map, I'd love to see if they can figure that out.
Make me feel good. Make me feel good about myself.
So here's the map. So
I gotta see this.
So this is what the league looks like now for 2026. Obviously, where NDSU is, and I think Eric got a couple shots on Twitter that the football isn't necessarily where the town is, but not regardless.
We're in northern South Dakota here.
So Air Force is in what state?
Okay, so let me preface this. I was in the back a couple of minutes ago, and I saw the graphic, and I said, Air Force, that's Greeley. No, it's not. No, it's not.
It's Colorado Springs.
I almost said Cold Springs. That's not right. Colorado Springs is in Colorado.
Okay,
so that's where the Air Force is. Wyoming is in Laramie. I've heard that a couple of times.
Yes.
Is it in the middle of the state there?
Yes.
It's a shock to me that's where Wyoming is. I will admit that. DeKalb, I mentioned that in my story.
It's DeKalb, get it right.
Yeah. Tomato.
Hey, they're watching us now.
That's true. DeKalb.
Yes.
DeKalb, Illinois. Beautiful this time of year, I will say. Never been. New Mexico is in Albuquerque, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
UTEP is obviously El Paso, which is on the western side.
That is in the mountain time zone of the state of, because Texas actually is big enough, much like North Dakota is, that they occupy 2 time zones.
It's in line with Rapid City and Pierre.
There you go.
That's how I know that. Pierre is in 2 different time zones.
You found that out.
That is your geographical knowledge for today. The Nevadas confuse me. I know UNLV's in Las Vegas. Nevada... I think Reno. Las Vegas is probably the only town in Nevada that I can name.
Now, see, here's the thing. Reno is bordering on Tahoe. And if you've ever watched the celebrity pro-am that they have every year is in Lake Tahoe, which is the most picturesque. Right across the lake is Reno.
Okay.
So Reno is also a really nice location.
Do you think we got a shot to play at that golf course?
You and Kolpak, you and your golf. Yeah, good luck with that. The rest of us are going to work. I don't know what everybody else is doing.
Trading in the mountains of Montana.
And then the San Jose is about 40 minutes north of San Francisco.
Oh, so that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And then Hawaii is in Honolulu. And
that is correct.
That is the Big Island?
Yes. That is correct.
Yes. Nice.
There you go.
Never been.
There are the cities that they're in relative to where the schools are located.
I like that. Fargo might be the most picturesque on that list. If I had
to. You know what actually is the least mountainous of the Mountain West? I believe is DeKalb.
You don't think Fargo's got less mountain?
I think actually has slightly higher elevation than DeKalb. Yes.
Okay, I did not know that.
And Laramie, I believe, we're a full 7,200 feet in the air.
I suppose now that you say that, there is a bump I do drive over on Cheyenne Street, so I guess that would make sense.
There are some at this time of year.
There's an ice chunk that I have to mount.
If people will know this, if you're driving on 29 North going to Grand Forks, they have that hill that's just short of Thompson, I want to say.
Over that bridge?
That's like at least on the eastern side of the state, that might be the highest
Let's
point.
call that Mount Thompson.
Or if you go to the RDO building downtown, that might, we can...
If you go under an underpass and then right back up,
we've had this discussion
perfect.
before. McFeely and I did this. We got to go to break. Like, how many escalators are in the state of North Dakota? There's not many.
Oh, escalators? No. How did that even come up?
It's about the dome. Between escalators, there's not many in the entire
I suppose
state.
now that I'd never
because
thought
how
of
many
that.
buildings are that tall?
That's
to
fair.
warrant an escalator. Like
that's
the
very
airport,
fair.
Like the airport has one. The dome has one.
The dome has one. The mall doesn't have one.
The mall doesn't have it.
Unless you go to Macy's.
No, the mall in Bismarck doesn't have it. The mall in Minot doesn't.
All right. We should get that on a graphic. The amount of escalators per state in the Mountain West.
The state capital, it's been a little bit since I've been in there.
I've done this story. Mount Fargo.
That's our old buddy Jay Dahl who did the story.
Jay Dahl.
I'm sure he loved doing that
was
story.
My first ever story for the news when it was April and they told me, hey, go cover this Mount Fargo story. I'm like, oh, we have a mountain here and it's a dirty pile of snow. Right. I can't wait for that to be the main mountain in the Mountain West.
Again, those are the topics that are coming up that we can deliver to viewers here over the next little bit.
Glad to educate.
Speaking of educate, we'll break. We didn't do this last week because I was gone, but with the Olympic Winter Games here, we're going to test Sam's knowledge of what he knows about the obscure winter sports and countries that participate.
After the display I just gave on the Mountain West, you're going to trust me on this?
Absolutely, we're going to do that.
All right.
We'll take a break. Hot Mike back after this on WDAY Extra, KSFL, KMBN, and Inforum.com. All right, welcome back, everybody. I'm getting some strays here on the old geography. I missed out on one.
Which one?
Dom, San Jose is south of San Francisco, not north.
What a rookie mistake.
Sam needs a better geography tutor.
Amen. I agree.
I messed on that one.
You are demoted.
Another email comes in. This goes back to conversation we had in the first hour. Dom, if you guys don't have the opportunity to televise the Bison games, will we be able to look forward to WDAY still doing a pregame show? That I can confirm. We are going to still do that. Postgame show as well. We did that last year. Postgame show is exclusive on internet, on Inforum, and on WDAY Plus. I don't know if we're going to hope maybe we can get that on television this year, but Bison Game Day will be back in the fall of 2026.
2 thumbs up. Yep. Fantastic. Looking forward to that. Get to be a part of that in the broadcast realm in some capacity. That would be fantastic.
Yes. All right. So we got a few minutes here. I wanted to test your Winter Olympic knowledge.
I watched a lot last night.
Did you? What'd you watch last night?
Figure skating.
Okay.
Which, most confusing thing in the world. Ilya Malinin's pretty good. He's a crazy.
The quad god, as he's known. Yes.
Watching him makes my head hurt. And I watched speed skating. Jordan Stoll's pretty good.
Jordan Stoll's is very, very good. From Kewaskum, Wisconsin.
Yes.
I believe that is Eric Perkins, former Bison wide receiver, hometown. He was a Kewaskum, Wisconsin.
Of the day,
I saw the hometown. I'm like, I know there has been a Bison from Kewaskum. I'm almost positive it's Eric Perkins. I'm sure Bunnell will get me, and I'm wrong on that. But I know there's been a Bison from that.
Sticking on the theme of geography, I heard them say that's by Milwaukee. Is that right?
Bunnell will be the one to correct me on that.
We'll
so I'll let Eric, the Captain Wisconsin, will chime in on that, no doubt. All right, so I even got some new music for you as well. We've got a little music bed that we can play underneath this.
Lovely.
So when they hit that, we'll start our quiz. So we got about 5 separate questions here I want to ask you about the history of the Winter Olympics.
The history?
The history of the Winter Olympics.
I'm screwed.
Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
I made a little fun stuff here. Is it true or false that basketball used to be in the Winter Olympics?
True.
It is true.
Yes. I had a feeling it would only make sense.
Boom.
I'm kind of confused it's in the Summer Olympics, honestly. Although, how can you compete with hockey? It's just that big. This is funky music.
I know. I
like it.
It got
I'm a
me
big
going.
fan.
I
I'm a
was
big
listening
fan
to it
of
in the
this.
morning.
All right.
Jocelyn Lamoureux Davidson scored the fastest goals by one player to Winter Olympics. How many seconds apart were they?
How many goals?
2 goals.
2 goals?
This happened in the Olympics in Pyeongchang in South Korea, 2018. You were still in college. Or were you in high school?
I was in high school.
Good God.
I was going into college. 16 seconds.
6 seconds.
Yeah, that was my second
6
guess.
seconds.
That was my second guess. Dang it. I added a 1 in there for no reason.
Sam Goetzinger, can you tell me what sports make up Nordic combined?
That would be something in the skiing realm. I saw...
No, you got to be more specific than that.
I know.
Something in the skiing realm.
I'm thinking. Nordic combined. How many events are we talking here?
There are 2 events in Nordic combined.
I saw something where a guy was running uphill. Is that part of that?
That is definitely not it.
Is it the thing where you bust your knees on those little tiny slopes going down the hill? You know what I'm talking about?
The moguls, no.
No, that's not it.
Nordic combined is ski jumping.
Oh.
And cross-country skiing.
Well, that's why I thought Nordic was...
skiing realm.
I thought Nordic was like a distance thing. I didn't think that was a speed down the hill deal.
Do you know that we are not good at Nordic combined?
I don't... Yeah, apparently.
That's not our jam.
I noticed that. I was like, man, what... I thought I was watching something
So
of that.
the
The U.S. in general has been...
Well, we've been all right.
Been all right, but I thought we would dominate everything, and that hasn't
Here's
been the
the
case.
official explanation of what it is. Nordic combined is a sport that blends cross-country skiing and ski jumping. Skiers jump from a hill, receiving points for distance and style, and then race to the finish.
How big is this hill we're talking? Like the one, like Mount Fargo Hill, or like a good hill?
It's not Mount Fargo. I'd say it's pretty long on that. I'd say ski jumping seems like it would be tremendously fun and scary at the same time.
Anything involving skis and down a hill.
I can see if I'm up here at the top and then scream my guts out coming down, and then when I'm up in the air, I'm like, oh, this is bad news.
I've never skied. I've never snowboarded. I don't have the balance. I've never skated. I would get 2 inches off the starting gate, and I would fall, and I would be rolling down the hill.
Keep that music going. We got more questions here. All right, so here we go. Next up on the old, how long has women's hockey been in the Olympic Games?
Oh, women's hockey. This is, I should know this, but I have no clue. I will go.
Take a guess.
19. Oh, it was formed before the 2000s. Is that fair? Or am I way off on that?
1998.
I was
yes.
okay.
Do you know who won the first gold medal in women's hockey?
It had to have been the Americans.
It was
yes,
the United States.
Had to have
we
been.
beat the Canadians.
Wagons, if you will. Wagons. And they are again this year. Can we go back? So I was technically right on the Nordic skiing realm.
When you say in the skiing realm, that's anything, though.
But I wasn't wrong. I wasn't wrong. So I should get at least a half point.
Let's see. Do you know how many times has the United States hosted the Winter Olympics? How many times?
I'm going to throw out a ridiculous number, and then the math's not going to add up. So...
How many times?
8. 6. 6. How many? I know for 3 or 2 for sure.
What are the 2 that you know?
Placid and Salt Lake City, right?
Yes.
So I guess now that I think about it, 6 is ridiculous. Let's go with 3.
Close. 4.
Okay.
4. So 1932 in Lake Placid.
So 8 was off.
8 was a bit strong.
See, that's what I'm talking about. The math wouldn't have made sense. The math wouldn't have made any sense.
1960 in Squaw Valley.
Where's that?
I believe that's California.
They don't have snow.
Oh, my.
They do.
Let's back it up there.
There's mountains.
There are mountains in California.
I don't want the Mars San Jose friends to get mad. I apologize. And that was a premature shot.
And then 1980, Lake Placid, and then 2002 in Salt Lake. And then in 2034, it's going back to Salt Lake City.
You tell me we haven't, in that whole stretch in between?
We have not.
Nothing?
We have not had the Olympics on American soil since the Salt Lake Games. And then obviously the Summer Games are coming to Los Angeles in 2028.
Again,
so,
Los Angeles?
L.A.
There's no snow in Los Angeles.
No, the Summer Olympics, man.
Okay,
The summer.
I missed that. I was too riled
Holy
up.
Cow.
I'm not thinking.
8. There's only 25 Winter Olympics. How can we have 8 of them?
That's why I said the math wouldn't have made sense. 6 was closer, so I'll stick with my original second chance of 6.
Oh, man. What did you call it? The one where they're on their knees down the hill? That's my new favorite sport that I heard you say.
The knee buster. That's what I was calling it all last night watching it. Like, man,
Moguls.
torn
skiing.
ACL.
Yes.
Great
stuff
over
as
they're going
always.
70 miles an hour down a hill, and they're smacking every flag on the way
That's the
down.
slalom.
Are they
That's the-
supposed to
that's the
hit?
sla-
Are
yes.
they supposed to hit every flag?
Yes.
What's the deal with that?
That's part of the giant slalom. You have to do that. That's how it works.
That feels.
Yes.
I feel like it would hurt hitting a plastic flag stick.
Well, they're hitting it with the ski pole, not their actual body. And if
Some
they do,
of them
then
look
they're
like
in trouble.
they're putting a shoulder into it. So
Great stuff as always. You're heading to Grand Forks this weekend to cover the Bison game.
Yes.
So for fans they're going to see there, say hi to Sam.
I wanted to check
First
out the
time at the
mountain.
Betty. You've not been.
I've never been
you've
inside the Betty.
It's,
No.
honestly, for basketball, for what you're going to see this weekend,
Yeah.
will be hopping.
So
It'll
if
be good
anybody
stuff.
sees me roam in the parking lot looking lost as all get out, somebody help me.
Point him in the right direction.
Somebody help me. Based off of what you heard
I
today,
know.
it will make sense that I'm going to need help getting into the
You might
Betty.
need GPS to get into the building. Great stuff, bud. Thanks for coming by.
Fantastic.
Sam Goetzinger joining us each and every Thursday. We'll break. Jory Collins on the other side of the break. We'll chat some Bison women's basketball. That's coming up when we come back. Final half hour here on this Thursday morning. Reminder, tomorrow, NDSU AD Matt Larson will be here in studio, 9:30 tomorrow. I'm sure there's no shortage of things to chat about there. Also, we'll go to Daytona tomorrow. My dad is on the ground in Florida to do our Daytona 500 pick. That's coming up tomorrow on the show. Mentioned it's a rare Thursday night where I'll be looking around looking for something to do because the Bison basketball teams have the night off. The Bison men will play Saturday. The Bison women are in action on Sunday as they take on the University of North Dakota each and every Thursday. Jory Collins joins us at 10:30. So when did you find out about the Mountain West move? Were you sitting on this and you could have told us last week?
No, I found out like everybody else, Dom. I saw it on Twitter, I think. I was wondering because Matt's been gone for a while.
Yep.
Usually when no sign of the AD for a few days, there's some meetings going on somewhere. So
something afoot.
No, and it didn't surprise me. I think it's awesome. I think it's a great move for our athletic department, and I'm proud of them. I mean, obviously everything comes with a little risk, but it's also versus the reward.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't show up to the casino with $100 and expect to make money. You got to roll in there with 100 G's. Throw it down and get after it. See what happens.
Appropriately so. Now there's a team in Las Vegas for NDSU that they're going to be
right.
playing with. And I know you were out in Reno a few years ago. Give us the lowdown. What for fans that are going to head that way? How good is Reno of a town?
We really enjoyed that tournament.
You won it.
Obviously, the hotels and casinos there, not to the extravagant level of Las Vegas, but there appeared to be plenty to do. Entertainment-wise and great places to stay. I thought Nevada's gym was great. Obviously didn't see the football complex or any of that, but no, I mean, that would be easy destination place that would be fun to go to.
How about for your
a weekend.
in your travels, anywhere else that you've hit in the Mountain West that you know of, not necessarily related to NDSU, that you've been to?
Really haven't.
Yeah.
It's been the one league, Don, that we just haven't. We've played Boise State a couple times the last couple years, but those have been neutral sites both times. So no, just haven't been to any of their arenas or anything like that.
I remember that Reno trip though. That's where Heaven Hamlin went crazy out there over Thanksgiving
she had
weekend
a big game.
a couple years ago there. All right, so let's first. Everyone was blowing up my Twitter feed and email last Friday after the game with Kansas City. Like, what happened to Avery Kuhn? And we saw that she left the game. So give us the lowdown on what you saw, what happened last Thursday night in Kansas City.
I saw out of the corner of my eye. I think she scored maybe or took a shot. Somebody scored and she was in rebounding position and then just turned to go the other way. Their player turned to get the ball out and take it out of bounds, and neither one of them were looking at each other and basically just went head to head. And nobody really stopped or did anything. They kept playing, and I know she looked over at me on the way down and kind of said something, but I didn't know what she was saying. Then she was back on defense and played defense for 15 seconds, 20 seconds till the officials saw blood running down her face. And, got her over as she went in the back. I think our trainer, Bryce, tried to glue it a little bit, put a bandage on it. She got back and was playing, and then got hit in the face again. Obviously, no call, obviously, at this place, and knocked her Band-Aid off and opened it up again, so it was bleeding again. And then we went with the entire head wrap. So there's I think we got a good still shot of her when she got to the bench finally with the giant head wrap, and then the blood that was dripping down her face was still stained on her face.
Yes.
So it just looked like a war scene.
Yes.
Some sort of crime scene had happened. All in all, it wasn't that big a deal.
Yeah.
It just looked a lot worse than it was.
Well,
she's been fine since.
We have a shot of her now. By the way, wearing Claire Stern's old number 11 jersey, by the way, as well, because her jersey was soaked with blood. I saw her yesterday. Like, you could have been an extra in a war movie when she came out with the head wrap on.
Yeah, it looks like all the movies where, the people are cleaning up after and they're just taking truckloads of people to the hospital.
But thankfully she's okay. And obviously didn't affect her, Jory. She was named Summit League Player of the Week again after what happened.
Yeah. I think probably on her 15 rebound performance in that game. She didn't have a ton of opportunities offensively, just the way they were playing and the way we were shooting the ball from the outside, especially in the first half. But, she's just been a real consistent player, Dom, and I think that's showing up in those weekly awards.
He's talking about shooting from the outside. Marissa Frost in that game was just sensational. At 5 threes alone in the second quarter. I mean, you and I were talking a little bit of availability yesterday about how if defenses want to focus on Avery and on Carrington Ass, then how does that ability to shoot, specifically Marissa's been on fire, it seems like, all conference long. How does that affect for teams where, okay, well, pick your poison on how you're going to try and stop your team?
Yeah, I think that's why we've been good this year, Dom, and why we've won a lot of games. Our offensive efficiencies, top 30 in the country efficiency. I think, points per 100 possessions, we're a top 10 team in the country. There's some things there that are showing that we're fairly efficient on offense, and I think that is the ability to be really successful when we throw it inside. I mean, both Carrington, all of our bigs, really. AK went 6 for 6 the other day at Omaha, are finishing at a really efficient clip. And so a lot of people don't want to give up layups or let you go one-on-one a bunch, and then you just have to be able to knock down shots if that's what they're giving you. And we're obviously fortunate, that Marissa was really hot the other day, but, Molly's continued to be a 40+% shooter. You don't just leave Molly Lynn standing out there by herself either. And so, AG shot the ball extremely well the other day, 4 for 5. Amelia's coming in, and her percentage is continuing to go up. We talked early in the year, one of the things we didn't do well our first 4 or 5 or 6 games was shoot the 3 ball very good. Just inconsistent, knowing we had good shooters. That's leveled out completely here, especially after Christmas, and we've been pretty consistent there too.
Confidence-wise, I know Marissa doesn't say a whole lot, so I'll ask you to speak for her. Where's her confidence level at right now?
Well, I hope it's at a 10.
Yeah.
That's what my confidence level is in her. And I think I've always had that with Riz. I just, there's something about the way that she competes. She does the same stuff in practice. It's not like, she's just showing up in games and turning it on.
Yeah.
I mean, she's hard to play against in practice. She makes the same kind of plays in the games that she does every day in practice. Her consistency with how she approaches everything daily is just so good for such a young player that's lending itself to really consistent performances.
Just the way, especially with that left hand, when it's going up, it almost seems like every time it's going. It certainly seemed that way on Thursday night in Kansas City. That's when it's going up, it's going down.
Yeah, and her shooting, I think she's always been a good shooter. Yeah. I don't know if she's ever thought of herself as a big-time three-point shooter. She'll take them when she's open. But, she's leaned into that here the last couple of weeks because that's what's been available. And then, she's got as good a touch with her left hand as anybody I've ever had, just going full speed and being able to bump it with the right touch and softness and angle off the backboard is really special.
I know Jossie Schiller knew the questions were coming this yesterday when we were up there for the anticipation of the game on on Sunday. Describe just maybe the inherent stuff that maybe we didn't know, Jory, about you adding her to your team and how that manifests itself on the floor. Maybe things we can't see on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, I think she's been a multiplier, Dom, maybe is the best way to put it. So, yes, she's a very good basketball player in herself. Her defensive pressure, her ability to make plays for other people, break down defense, handle the ball at such a high level. I think she's leading the league in assist to turnover ratio. We had 22 assists the other day. She didn't have one. That's crazy.
Great, yes.
But made plenty of other plays. When I say she's a multiplier, I think she's allowed other people on our team to maximize who they are, just more often and more consistently. She's taken pressure off people to have to do other things. Marissa Frost, especially, Molly Lynn's also less ball handling responsibility, even though they're both super capable and very, very good at that. They just don't have to, and their mindset can be a little bit different. Obviously, she's a terrific passer, post feeder. She's also somebody that wants to do the right thing. So when we have discussions about, hey, this is how we're attacking this team, this is what we feel like, she knows to get us in those situations as much as possible, and just does a great job of running the show.
You're at this point of the schedule now where the stretch run. It's been 8 days between games. Is that a good thing, bad thing, no thing?
I think it's been a good thing this week. We gave them a couple days. We didn't get on that. We lifted and watched film on Monday, Dom. We're off Tuesday. We practiced pretty good yesterday, and we had juice. We were bouncing around. People were fast. It looked good. And we're also giving them today off. So they're getting 3 full days off the court. But if we come back tomorrow and look like we did yesterday, I'll be really pleased with it. It's this late in the year. There's only a couple weeks of the regular season left, from Saturday. So, leg rest, mindset rest. We had a couple people sick early in the week that are already getting over that. It was probably ideal time for us to have a little break.
When you see that too, knowing, okay, the light is at the end of the tunnel here, how much more does that add the juice to it as well, that the end of the regular season Summer League tournament, we're just 3 weeks away from that?
Oh, 100%. We talked about, that's how, we went into last week's road trip really focused because, we talked a lot at the beginning of last week. Hey, this is our last 2-game road swing of the year. We need to take care of business because when we get done, we get the bye. It's a chance to take a deep breath. You got a chance to be in a good position with 5 games to go and, a potential Summit League championship in your grasp if you can handle business. So our team's been focused all year. I think that's the number one thing that I've been so proud of our group is they've been ready. Yeah. They're ready for practice. They're ready for weights. They're ready for film, and they've been ready to play in games every time out.
Last thing, for getting ready for this game on Sunday, Jossie's obviously with her relationship up at UND. What do you expect that will be on Sunday? Will it be hostile? You think? What are you walking into on Sunday is maybe the best way to ask that.
Well, that's a good question. I don't really know. I think the people that know Jossie well and care about her are going to be supportive of her. I think the people that are just fans that feel, jilted in some way that she left are probably not going to be very nice. That's neither here nor there for us. We got no control over that. I think the thing I love about Jocelyn is that she's a super poised young lady, has a great mindset about all those kind of things. I know she'll go out and continue to do what she's been doing for us.
Great to see you as always, bud. Thanks for the time. Good luck on Sunday. We'll talk next week, okay?
Okay, sounds good, Dom. Thank you.
There he goes, Jory Collins, NDSU women's basketball head coach. Bison have won 20 consecutive games. Let me say that again. They've won 20 in a row. They're going for 21 in a row on Sunday, 1 o'clock up at UND. I don't have the rationale on why it's not a doubleheader. I've been asked about that. The games here in Fargo are coming up 2 weeks' time from Saturday. It's 2 separate days, which will affect attendance. Let's just be clear on that. It'll be, I think, a great crowd Saturday. I don't think it will be as good Sunday. And that's too bad because Bison women are rolling right now, and they'll be more intense simply because of the Schiller angle to it that we just talked about. Obviously, Jossie was the freshman of the year at UND. She's a Grand Forks native, and the amount of people that'll be out to see her, hopefully it's as good a crowd as the men's game. It's just, I don't believe it'll be the case, but I'd like to be proven wrong on that when we come back on Monday to recap the games. So we'll see. But men on Saturday at 1. That's a CBS Sports Network game, by the way, as well. And then Sunday at 1 to wrap up the weekend in Grand Forks. We'll take our final break. We come back. We'll put a bow on things, get you ready. Got a busy Sports Thursday on tap here on this Giving Hearts Thursday. Hot Mike will wrap on WDAY Extra after this. All right, wrapping things up here on this Thursday morning. Again, a reminder, tomorrow, NDSU AD Matt Larson will join us here in studio. Looking forward to that conversation with Matt on what he can share on the Mountain West and where things are at, maybe scheduling-wise. That's coming up tomorrow on the show. Some recruiting news to share as before we wrap things up. And congratulations to our friends out at Minot North. They have their first Division I football commit. Ethan Howie, lineman for the Sentinels of Minot North, announced his commitment to play for Eric Schmidt and the University of North Dakota. So UND is on the board for its first commit for the class of 2027. Howie led the Sentinels to the Dakota Bowl this past fall. Minot North lost to Devils Lake in the AA championship game. So congratulations to Ethan. I would hope we're going to have him on in the coming days, either tomorrow or next week, on his commitment to play for UND. So Eric Schmidt on the board with a homegrown guy here to start the class of 2027. North Dakota State already with one commit as well. They have Austin Whittick, running back out of Wisconsin, that committed a few weeks ago. So congratulations there. Big time. It's pretty neat to get a new school to get. I remember those first for like when Cheyenne had it, when Horace had it, when Legacy had out in Bismarck, and now Minot North can celebrate that after they had a breakthrough year in football. The last 2 years for them in the AA level, a semifinal finish in 2024, runner-up finish in 2025. I believe by 2027 they're going to be playing in the big boy level of football, I like to say, in 3A in North Dakota. So congratulations to them. That's big stuff there, and appreciate the heads up on that as well. Let's do a couple other things here before we get to what to watch. One other email that came in on our geography quiz, which was fun there. Again, was asking on the future of Bison football on television. I hit at it earlier. We don't know. It's very convoluted right now. Cloudy is the best way to describe it. And when we have more answers on that, we will provide them as soon as we can on what's going on television-wise related to Bison football. Let's do some what to watch before we get out of here. What to watch brought to us by our friends at Northwestern Mutual. Don't forget, we got high school hoops coming up tonight between Horace and Shanley. Coverage begins at 7 o'clock right here on WDAY Extra. Two teams at the top of the EDC standings fighting for those 4 spots to make it to the state tournament. Again, a month from today is the state AA tournament opening up in Bismarck. Looking forward to that. Also, the United States men's hockey team begins its Olympic tournament beginning at 2 o'clock on the USA Network against Latvia. The Canadians are playing right now. They lead Czechia 2-0. Nebraska-Minnesota women's basketball coming up tonight, 7 o'clock on the Big Ten Network. And Tom Hoagie back in action. His tournament he won, the AT&T Pebble Beach National Pro-Am, 2 o'clock on the Golf Channel. Our thanks to Bill Curl from Milan, to Sam Goetzinger and Jory Collins. If you missed any of the show, you can podcast it later today at Inforum.com. You can watch a full recap on WDAY+. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Have a great Thursday. We'll see you back here tomorrow.